I'm living my best life. Yeah, yeah. I'm living my best life. Turn all my L's into lessons. You see the whip pulling up, it's like skirt. I was in the field, man, I slaved for this. Had to talk to God, drop down and pray for this. To my surprise, he replied that you made for this. And then she trapping because she had to make it happen for her life. God work magic, God work magic, God work magic in my life. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina. And remember how I came at y'all not long ago with the video about the 9 things that I did in order to change my life. Y'all seem to really enjoy that, so I wanted to keep some of that momentum going on this Sunday morning and talk about the things that we can do to get our lives together through mental health, your self-confidence, time management, everything in between that really helps us to be productive. There's so much in our lives that really can be and become excuses for not going as far as we want to go, but we are accountability partners. Remember, we talked about that, and these types of talks are really being generated because, as you guys know that have watched a lot of my last few videos, I am releasing a podcast soon. Yes, now that's Life with Dr. Nina, which may be releasing here in February. So I am super excited, and you guys have really helped me to generate content. So if you haven't, make sure you head over to my community page here on YouTube, where I ask lots of questions about things you want to hear, things you want to know, things that will help you through the podcast. And make sure you head on over to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and talk with me there too. I want to see you win. I want to see you grow. I want to see you be the best you possibly can be. And we got to stop making excuses in order to get to that place. And if anybody knows hard times, I feel like I'm one of those people. Adopted, raised in St. Louis and Memphis by a single parent mother, lost 100 pounds. I had struggles through my first years of college. I've always kind of been before my time, which hasn't always been popular. On top of that, I had to learn how to hone my craft and hone who I was. And I really think that a lot of people struggle with that. There are general things in our lives that help us to become the best us that we can be. Stability does not have to be lacking in fun. Stability actually makes us more happy. And I want to thank the many of you all that have already taken my 8-day free supernatural video course. If you've taken it, let us know down below how you felt about that course. And for those of you all that have not, what you waiting on? It's free. The link is down below, and it's your girl giving you all those tips that are really gonna help you live that best life this year. And while I have you,
make sure you thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel and also my vlog channel. Make sure that you come back on all Thursdays and some Sundays for video uploads, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload.
A part of living my best life is drinking and eating right? So right now I am detoxing just a little bit and having some of my protein.
As y'all know, I've been using the Yae Organics products for years now. I've been sharing those with you guys, but now they have a probiotic plant protein, which is high in protein. 2 scoops give you like 30 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. It's like amazing. So I've been trying to use that daily to help detox my body and get it working better. So I just mixed up the baby green spinach as well as the acai berry and the probiotic protein here with my new bottle. And y'all know that this bottle also charges your phone, which I love because it's great on the go. If you're interested, I've linked Yae Organics down below in the information section so you can find all their products on their site.
Now I've given a couple of these away already, and I'm gonna give away another one because a part of living your best life is giving back to others. So check the information section down below and find out how to win your very own. So one of the first things I'm gonna tell you guys is hang with people that add to your life. You have to be selective. According to Jim Rohn, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I can almost guarantee that a lot of those strengths and weaknesses you see in that very core inner circle, you're going to see in yourself. They're reflections of you. One of the jokes that I tell y'all all the time is my circle done got so small, that thing is a period. The people in my life really add to my life as I add to theirs. They're a blessing to me as I am a blessing to them. I try to make sure that I'm choosing those people that not only make me feel good, but hold me accountable, keep me grounded, make sure I have humility, but keep my dignity. They recognize my strengths and they help me work on my weaknesses. So how do you pick those people? Well, you only need to ask yourself 2 questions. Do I feel my best when I'm around them? And do they add to my life? A lot of people mistaken this for material things. I'm saying, if you have a problem, can you talk to them? Will they listen to you if you don't even want them to talk? Are they able and aligned to make sure that you feel supported? Are they willing to learn how to support you? Those are the types of things you need in a good friend. Everybody ain't your friend, and every family member ain't your friend. Think about it. Can I trust them with my life? Be careful who you're giving your time to and who you allow to take your time. The next thing is to stop making excuses for where you are right now. I couldn't just make excuses for the weight I had gained. I waited until I was good and ready to really lose weight, and even when I failed at diets before, I took responsibility for that. And I had to decide on doing that when it was best for me so that I could see it through. I couldn't do it for anybody else, but I couldn't make excuses either. Excuses are monuments of nothingness. They build bridges that lead to nowhere. Those that use these tools of incompetence are masters of nothingness. Are you a master of nothingness? We always say to ourselves that we don't have much, but we're not enriching what we do have. We're not valuing it. So then we make excuses for what we don't have. Now think about it. If you can't be a ruler of a little, who you think gonna make you a ruler of a lot? The next thing is to remember that happiness does not come from those things that change or from those things that are outside of us. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm gonna be happy when I get a man or when I get a woman, or I'm gonna be so happy when I get that promotion? Guess what? Happiness doesn't come from things that change often. When things are up and down, then your happiness will be up and down. Sometimes happiness can be fleeting. So if you put it in things that are always moving, that are always changing, that are not stable, then you're not going to feel good about yourself. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I can put all my love for who I am in my job, but if I lost that job, how am I gonna feel about myself? Now, one thing someone can't take away from me is my education. And y'all do realize education comes in different ways. It's not just degrees. It's what I've learned to this point to give me experience that no one can take away from me. Now that won't change. You want happiness that's stable. You want things that keep you together, that keep you nurtured and watered without you having to always worry about when it's not gonna be yours anymore. Happiness should be at your core. What's inside of you, not just what's outside of you, what someone can bring you, what a relationship can give. And I think a lot of people make these mistakes when they get into relationships thinking that that will make them happy. So you have to put your hope and faith in happiness and those things that don't change, those things that can't be taken away from you. You have to check yourself, think about those strengths and your weaknesses, and learn to love yourself through it all. The next thing is to make time for you and what's important. You say you can't work out, but you just spent 3 hours on the couch catching up on Love and Hip Hop, The Real Housewives, and everything else on demand. Now you tell me where your priority lies. Some of us say we can't find any friends, but we don't spend any time researching interesting places to go or places that will put us out there so that we're around like minds and people that we might attract. We expect for things to come to our door, knock on it, and give us everything we want to need. That's not how life works. You have to make time, do the research, put in the footwork in order to get the things that you want. Take some time to ask yourself, what is it that you like? If you can't come up with anything right now, think of your past and your childhood. What excited you? What seemed to make you happy at one time? How can you repackage that for your now? When students come to me and they say they're having problems with time management, there's something that I have them to do. And I'm going to give y'all an assignment. Take an hourly calendar and write down everything you're doing for each hour you're awake. I want you to analyze that list of things you're doing. If you take that calendar and you see that you're spending 4 and 5 hours on social media, you're catching up on all your shows, if you have a husband or wife or kids and a dog or whatever, and you're not spending time with them or cooking dinners or meal prepping, those are things you need to be writing down. And then after you've kept about a week worth of that, then you take another calendar and you plan out your time effectively. Put things on your calendar that will get you the results you want. So you say you want to lose weight, put down when you're going to work out. So you say you want to do better in school, put down where you're going to study. So you like social media, give yourself about 30 minutes to social media. Even plan that time in. When you make your new list, follow that for about 20 days and you'll notice that most of those things start to become habits for you. The next thing is to start saying no. Could you please? No. Can I have? No. Would you do? No. You get a no. You get a no. You get a no too. Saying no takes practice. is. I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and said that saying no has always been so easy for me. I still struggle with it, but I've gotten much better. It's like the first time I started saying it, I was like a 2-year-old. I was like, no, because people didn't always value my time. And you know why? Because I didn't value my own time. I had to start saying no to those things that were getting me nowhere. I do spend time helping others. I do spend time doing those things that enrich my life, but some things just don't need to be done. They're not helping you or anyone else, so therefore you need to say no. When you start to treasure and value your time, other people start to treasure, value, and respect your time as well. Look, y'all, it's all about reclaiming your time. When you feel your time is more valuable, you're going to fill your time with more valuable things. You're going to get surrounded by more valuable people and more valuable opportunities. That is why you have to say no to things that are just not on your radar right now. You don't have the time. The next thing might seem a little odd, but you need to start saving your money. Now, monetarily, if you know you can depend on yourself, then you're less anxious, you're less wound up, and you're less depressed. If you feel better about your monetary situation, you'll feel a little bit better about life and what you can depend on and what you can handle. You don't have to have a big budget to make this happen. Some of y'all out here talking about y'all want to be spontaneous, but ain't got spontaneous coins. Some of us need to spontaneously sit our behinds down and save a little bit more. So let's just be honest, when you're broke and you feel like you have nothing to depend on, it can lead to you feeling worse. When I was in undergrad and I was in graduate school, I kept a job. I kept several jobs, y'all. I was a hustler, homie. I braided hair, I tutored, I taught adjunct, I was a graduate assistant, I worked in hospital registration, I worked at McDonald's. Y'all, I always had a hustle, baby. You wasn't gonna catch me being broke. The last part of undergrad into graduate school, I always had a savings account that always had a $1,000 emergency fund. I did not have many people that I could depend on with money. So I knew that if I could depend on myself, let's say if my tire blew, if I had that $1,000, I at least had money to take care of a tire. If you know you have something like that in your back pocket, then you're able to take care of yourself better and you'll feel better about your situation. I know that some of us don't seem to have money, but you have to start keeping track of what you're actually spending your money on. Because some people that I know that I've mentored that want to know more about money and credit, when we look at what they're doing with their money, they're actually shocked. Some of us are not keeping track of that. If you're going out to eat every week, if you're doing all these other things, those things add up. I try to make sure that at the beginning of the month, instantly money is withdrawn from my main account into my savings account so that it's almost like a bill. I pay my tithes and offering, and I try to save about 15% of almost every check I get. You have to put restrictions on yourself. Even the richest people in the world put restrictions on themselves. That's how they got rich. And it helps you feel better when you have a little bit more to depend on. Even if you can't depend on the rest of the world, if you know monetarily you're sound, it will help you feel a lot better about your situation, giving you more self-esteem, more self-confidence, and more self-assurance. Next, I'm gonna say, stop complaining. The worst thing we do for ourselves sometimes in our basic everyday morale and values is complaining about where we are. Y'all, I've had a lot of hard times in life. I've had a lot of hard situations. What I try to do is make light of it, and almost to a fault. I've been made fun of sometimes for me taking negative things and switching it around. I can remember one time where I had a situation where I was super late to something because of traffic. And I remember thinking about it this way, that traffic probably occurred to keep me from being in an accident that might have taken my life. Now, a lot of people used to tell me that's a long stretch. Yeah, but I could have complained about that traffic. I could have talked about it, but it didn't change anything. One thing I do know is there is the unknown. And sometimes things happen in order for better things to happen in a line for your life. So instead of complaining, start to think about the good things that are actually already happening in your life. When you complain, research shows that you cause yourself to feel worse and more depressed and anxious. You cause yourself stressful issues, which can lead to high blood pressure, anxiety attacks, and other things like that that affect your mental health. You want to make sure you keep that mind positive. If something negative happens, don't instantly complain. Try to see what about it is really helping you to learn more, do better, be better, to do your best, to also show what you got. Because sometimes when negative things have happened, it's giving me a chance to say, girl, you did that. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not any angel, but complaining, being mean, putting your mess off on other people is not going to help make any situation better. It makes it worse for you and for everybody around you. So do yourself a favor and stop with all the complaining. What you can do is start to pinch yourself or pay 25 cents to a bucket that you donate to somebody. Anytime you complain, what it literally does is rewires your brain. It teaches you that it's not a good thing to be complaining because it costs you something. And another thing that has worked for me in the past is when I complain, I ask myself, how is this changing anything? Now, it's okay to have a down moment. It's okay to sit there in your funk for a little while, but you ain't gotta be so functified that you are up here making everybody's life miserable in your own. Change that around. Think about the positives. Think about what could have been worse. And the fact that you right here, right now, and you alive. You are blessed. The next thing is to do what you say and say only what you will do. For some of us, our words are worth less than a penny. And if you're not upholding what you tell other people, you're certainly not going to trust yourself. Do you see how that works? If you always making excuses for why you can't make it to something that you told somebody you would make it to, you don't even trust yourself no more. It's your credibility that's on the line. When you do what you say and lead a life that shows that you say what you do, you're actually building credibility and trustworthiness. People will be drawn to you, and you in turn will be drawn to yourself. So when you show that you can uphold your word and not only see the effect of that on you, but on others, you start to build your self-confidence, self-esteem, you boost your morale, you feel better overall, you feel happier, and you feel like you can trust yourself. How do you do what you say and say what you do? According to Hack Spirit, there's 4 things. Never agree to or promise anything unless you are 100% sure you can do it. Treat yes as an overall contract. The next thing is schedule everything you say yes to. Put it in your schedule immediately. We got phones, we got all this stuff out here, schedule it. The next thing is don't make excuses. We done already talked about those. And the next thing is to be honest. If you can't do something, don't agree to do it. When you let other people down, you let yourself down. You might not think you do, but if you're not a psychopath, it eventually wears away at you when people stop asking you to do things because they know you're not dependable. That ends up hurting your own feelings and your own trust in yourself. Next, you need to make sure you're nurturing your relationships. You can't expect what you don't put in. Some of us don't even nurture relationships with ourselves. When is the last time you've taken yourself out on a date? I don't care if you're in a relationship or you're married. Sometimes you need that me time. You need to dedicate time to yourself so you can know how to dedicate time to other people. It helps you to feel renewed and refreshed. It also helps you to stand firm in who you are. Sometimes when you can't hear yourself, you can't hear others. I have a lot of friends and I'm also very busy. I have a lot of family and I'm also very busy, but I'm also staying connected so that they know I care about them. I shoot them a message on a group messenger. With your friends, be upfront with them. If you're not going to be able to talk with them all the time, make that clear, but also make it clear that you're dependable in times where you're needed. My friends know that they're not going to talk to me every day, and that's okay. However, when there's an important situation, I am there for them. They can call me and they can depend on that. You might not be able to hear from me every day, but I'm going to be around and I'm going to be accessible, and I'm building and nourishing and watering relationships with them. You can't expect good relationships if you're not putting forth an effort to make them good. We expect for a lot of people to make relationships good or make relationships with us, but if you're not putting forth the effort yourself, you can't expect that from anyone else. According to a 75-year Harvard study, relationships are the most crucial factor to a successful and happy life. Make sure you invest more time in yourself, your family, and your friends, and you'll live a much more fulfilling life. And last but certainly not least, live in your now. We living in the past. We still remembering what boo-boo, she, all of them did to us down the street instead of thinking about where we're going now. I heard an analogy years ago and it really changed my perspective, y'all. It's amazing. I know I come with all these quotes and these thoughts. If you look at your front window on your car, the front window is huge, right? And it's made that way so you can see where you're going. The rear view mirror is small and you only see a small amount of what's behind you. It's the same thing with our future, and it's the same thing with our past. That big window represents our futures and all the possibilities, all the things you could do, all the things you can engage in, all the things that could make you happy, all the things that could even make you sad and teach you a lesson. Possibilities are endless. That rearview mirror is only meant to give you a snapshot of what's behind you, because you can't focus on everything behind you if you want to get to where you're going. I always remember that I can't always focus on that rearview mirror. Yes, the past is the past and it will teach us how to appreciate the present, but you can't live in the past if you want to see where you're going. If you're not focusing on the bigger window, you're gonna miss a whole lot and you might cause an accident. So you want to make sure you're staying focused on the bigger picture and not so much on that little bitty rearview mirror, because there's not much you can do about that past. So I hope today has been good for you guys. Do not forget to comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Also go back and watch that video on the 9 things I did to change my life. Stay tuned for the upcoming podcast and the webinars and mentorships that are coming along live very soon. I cannot wait on these new strands of things that I am doing, that I get to share with you guys, and you guys get to see this journey as it unfolds. I couldn't think of better people to do it with. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace.
Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.